Have you heard about the new Apple TV series called Hijack? If you haven't, we're going to talk about it today. So make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get it started. Hijack is a 7-part thriller miniseries on Apple TV about flight KA-29, which is hijacked during a 7-hour journey from Dubai to London. And it stars Idris Elba, who's a negotiator named Sam Nelson, who tries to use his professional skills to save everybody on board while being a victim himself. This entire series started off very interesting, and I like the premise. You knew right from the beginning something's going to go wrong from the title itself, but you're not exactly certain what it is. Is it, Muslim terrorists? Is it somebody else? Whatever. But I really like how suspenseful this show was from the get-go. The first episode was called Final Call, where you see Sam Nelson trying to win back his ex-wife and try to keep his relationship with his son and his ex-wife, and he's boarding this plane, and his ex-wife texts him saying, "Do not board this plane." He does. While this is happening, 3 girls in a further row back towards the end of the plane find a bullet in the bathroom, and they showed this to some random guy, and he's like, "You know what? I'll check on it. I'll let other people know." He takes that bullet, goes all the way in the front, and this is where the main bad guy, the main villain of the series, is shown. For now, spoiler alert, and he basically tells them, "Hey, we're not going to wait for 2.5 hours. We're going to get the hijack started right now." The bullet caused them to have a delay or, start up early. So they basically took over the plane right away. They try to get into the cockpit, but the pilot and the co-pilot have it locked. They're not going to open it for anybody. But one of the main air hostess is having an affair with the captain, and you know what that happens. So he plays into his emotional judgment, and this guy is married, and he's clearly cheating on his wife, and he even says, "I love you" to her. They say, "Love you" back. His co-pilot doesn't want to open the door, but he beats the shit out of her, and he lets the terrorists in. They take over the plane, and people in Dubai, everybody, they're asking, the people on the ground, they're asking what's happening. And the terrorists, the hijackers, they basically make the captain, the co-captain, follow the script, making sure that everything is going smoothly, and it does. And Kingdom in Dubai, they basically let the plane go. And until this one lady who's working for the London flight control, so she comes into work after dropping off her kids, and she's, just following her daily routine. At this point in episode 2, Sam comes up with a plan where he communicates with the captain, and he's communicating with the captain via a game available on screen on the flight. And everybody else's phone is taken. The terrorists have taken all the cell phones. They have turned off the Wi-Fi. Nobody has connection. Nobody on the ground knows anything. Everybody thinks KA-29, this flight is going very smoothly and no one is worried. And then Sam tells the captain, "Hey, is there a way you could discreetly do something about this where people down there can know about this?" He changes the degree 3 degrees. And it's such a small detail. Only people that are known to follow the trajectory of the flight path, like the captain, people on the ground, whoever's, with aviation, she notices that something is wrong with KA-29 and is diverting in this way, and it's not normal, and that raises suspicion. Sam's ex-wife has a boyfriend. He's a detective, and he think he works for the Interpol or some high-end organizations when it comes for the government. And he tells his counter-terrorist partner Zara, who he clearly had something with, a fling, and he's like, "Something's happening." She makes all the phone calls, and she's like, "Nothing's happening. I communicate with everybody. No one is saying that there's anything to worry about." And when this 3-degree turn or 3-degree change in the flight path happened, that's when they noticed it, and they're like, "Hey, something is wrong." And they try to communicate with the plane, and it did not go well for the hijackers. And then there were many incidents where people were trying to take over, people trying to play hero. And there were these 2 guys that wanted to do more than they should have. And they attack, and that's one thing about the hijacker, and it really made me very curious, because as much as people retaliated in this show, in this whole 7 hour trip, they did not kill anybody. And this one guy, he's like, I think the bullets are blank. He's like, I guess, expert when it comes to bullet recognition. And he's like, the bullets are blank. Sam Nelson, the negotiator, he basically, his role, so let's talk about Sam. Sam's role is he can make any deal, any type of negotiation, any sort of merger go his way, whatever he wants. He's very good. He knows how to talk to people. And I really like that he wasn't a marshal. He wasn't the superhero type. He was just a person who can talk. And Idris Elba can talk his ass off. So this role suited him very, very, very good. You have people trying to take over. You have people like, getting hurt. But there's blank bullets. They find out this blank bullets. They go through a whole thing where the whole everybody on the flight crew is working together. And they find out the bullets are blank. And then they retaliate. But then at the same time, the main hijacker, he goes and loads the gun with real bullets. So he really had bullets on board too. So he loads it with real bullets and he shoots a lady. Now, while this is happening, you're still questioning what's going on. There are so many things happening, so many moving parts. This is like you're looking at what's happening on the ground, you're looking at what's happening in the air, you're looking at what's happening with Sam's family, you're looking at every single aspect. And I really liked how they showed every single different area and brought the suspense out of it. This led to an incident where one of the hijackers got stabbed and he got infected. He was bleeding out to death. His blood got stuck in his lung. Sam, after he tries to retaliate, is tied up, but he tries to help this guy. He finds a doctor and the doctor helps and they put a pen through his chest, his lungs, so he can breathe, so support. And then he comes up with a plan saying that we need to land as soon as possible. We need to ground as soon as possible because this guy's gonna die. Sam is trying his very best to land. He, as much as you see him play the hero role, he's being very selfish. And I think he's very clear from the get-go. He is saying, I want to get back to the family. He's the victim. At the same time, he wants everybody to say, but his main priority is for making sure he lands, he gets back to his family, he gets back to his son, he gets back to his ex-wife. And you see that, but the more it goes, I just found it really weird where the hijackers knew Sam is too smart, knew that he is going to be a problem. And if you are trying to make sure the plan goes your way, you need to get rid of an obstacle that is deemed dangerous. And I felt Sam was too smart for his own good. And you can see that throughout the whole thing. The guys in the main hijackers keeping an eye on him. And Sam is just freely moving. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Why is he moving and getting away with everything? And that's really where I was just like, the show is focusing a lot on the main protagonist. The plot armor is shown here, and that took a little suspense out of it, because I felt if they gave an equal amount of share to other characters, or even a little bit more than what just Sam was getting, like it felt like Sam had a VIP pass and he was walking around doing whatever he wants. He's like in the middle of everything. He's controlling everything he wants. I understand he's a negotiator, but man, there's a limit to how much. I wanted a little realism, and I felt a little realism in this show, and that's why I enjoyed it. Later on, you see the objective of this whole hijack of KA-29 was to get somebody out of jail. They got 2 people out of jail, and these 2 are like wanted terrorists. And you see the heads of the country of London, they all are debating. They're like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be giving to terrorists. We shouldn't be giving up to the demands and everything. They go through all this turmoil. They go through all this dilemma, all these other situations. And you see everything that's happening on the ground. At the same time, up in the air, Sam is like, we got to fight. We got to stand up because they're going to start killing everyone. But during one of the episodes, Edgar, the main bad guy. So yes, this is the main bad guy. He gets out of jail. He is leaving. He's trying to, get to whatever he wants, but people are following him. Daniel, who is the boyfriend of Sam's ex-wife, Marsha? He follows Edgar, and Edgar's like, listen, Daniel, I told your people not to follow me, and because you did, somebody's gonna die. So you see them going through this dilemma. They really don't want to kill anybody, and it felt like everybody was threatened. Because the guy that got stabbed and had the thing in his lungs, that was the brother of the main hijacker. So it felt like this was a lot personal, and they were desperate, and they had no choice. For a lot of people, not the main two, I guess, hijackers, the female and the male, I felt like they were just doing it for the money. But you see the whole dilemma that's happening here, and Edgar's like, I'm going to send a body. He sends them a message, like, send a body or something. And they were going to kill the main air hostess, Divya. They were going to choke her out. But Sam gets to them and he talks them out of it. It's just that I understand he's the negotiator, but man, I really hoped. Like, how's this guy getting around so freely? It just made no sense. I would, if I'm not saying I'm a hijacker or anything, but if I am creating a plan, I can clearly see this guy is going to be a problem. Tie him up, put him away. I'm not pro for anything, but I'm just saying it really lacked that evil part I was looking for, because if it made it a slightly more evil, where Sam actually got fucked up, he got hurt, he got shot, he got put in a corner, tied up or something, made it more realistic than him being light up, walking around, and he finds a scissor from the first aid kit, they break his cuffs or whatever. It just, like, there were so many things happening where I just felt like, man, Sam, you're good, you're doing a good thing, but at the same time, it just doesn't make it believable that the hijacker is going to make sure you're so lenient, freely going and doing all this stuff when you so many times have interrupted, so many times you have gotten in the middle of the plan, whatever they're going through. And I'm just like, yo, this is not believable. But whatever, set that aside. Edgar gets a body. That was the lady that got shot originally, the one in a mishap. She was an Australian passenger. She had a job starting, and she actually got shot because she was trying to help this kid that got lost in the chaos, and the main hijacker terrorist came and he shot her in the head. They used her body, sent it, and the whole thing happened, and everybody backed out. The jets and everything that were there, they backed out. There were cool moments, but I felt like it was repetitive at times. It led all the way towards the end where they were able to overtake the hijackers. They were able to get the gun that was loaded and take control. But then you see this random girl get up, Amanda. Random lady, get up, go to the bathroom, tie her hair, get the gun out, walk out, and then she just blasts the captain in the face, walks into the cockpit, closes the door. And that's where episode 6 ends. And Sam's like, who the hell is that? And they're like, we have no idea. And that's when it gets interesting, where you have so many parties that are on this flight that are being threatened by these people on the ground that are killing people. There, you see people get killed by these cleaners. These two cleaners are in Sam's house, and his son is there. Oh my god, his son also. I feel they always have a kid that is really trying to do too much and is not really thinking, because when the two cleaners, the killers, were in Sam's house and he was hiding, he made a phone call to the police from a landline, and the police came, and there's two people. This guy knows there's two people. Only one person opens the door. I don't know why he comes out, and I'm just like, this stupid ass fucking kid. But later on, the detective comes and he basically helps them out. They capture those guys, yada yada, whatever. And Edgar's main plan was to make the stock market for the flights crash. He basically, I guess, bought puts and stuff a lot. He was making millions, 18 million every 3 minutes or something. And he's like, we got to pay people. We got to keep doing this. He gets shot by the other party that's working with them. They're like, you know what? He's getting out of control. Let's kill him. Typical bad guy shit. Kill him. That Edgar was supposed to tell Amanda to stop once they got enough money. But since Edgar's dead, Amanda doesn't know anything. So the flight is running out of fuel. Amanda is a Navy aviation pilot, I guess, and she is flying at 3,000 feet, and it looks like she's going to crash into London. And Sam basically finds out they're doing it because they got her family. This dude is like, you know what? I'm the one who let them come here on the plane. I worked on the deal. And he's like, they probably got her family, finds out it's a daughter. Sam somehow gets to her because he's a negotiator. He can make anything happen with his words. Gets to her, she opens the cockpit. All in all, they land. Everybody is safe. The landing was pretty cool, suspenseful, but you knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna be a good ending. Didn't feel like it was gonna be something depressing. It just didn't once feel like that throughout the whole thing. I mean, here and there, you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen next? I really like the acting, how they showed everything. Felt like a little 24-ish. So once they land, everybody, the cops come, they raid, they get the terrorists, but everyone except the main one. And this is where I feel it lost me huge. Like, I'm going to give you the rating soon, but I'm taking out a whole point because of this one thing. Everybody gets out the flight, but the main hijacker somehow breaks out of his thing while landing, I guess. And then Sam goes back instead of getting out, because the air hostess said, leave everything behind and get out. But Sam, he's a main person. He gets away with everything. He goes back inside, tries to get some packet he has in there, picks it up, trying to go, and the door closes. Now it's a face-off. Sam versus this guy. And I was like, why? Why was this needed? It was really not needed. It was so stupid. It was like 5 minutes of dumb conversation. He's like, I'm going to kill you. We're going to go back together. We're going to go down together. Yada, yada, yada. Sam outsmarts him. The SWAT team comes in, gets him, and he walks away. I was just like, that scene, if they did not add that scene, this show could have been an 8.5, even a 9. I really was enjoying this show. It was really entertaining. But I'm giving this a 7.5. Is the same rating IMDb has. I really think the last part was too corny, too cliched, too predictable, I don't know. I don't like plot armor like that, and it was just stupid. I really enjoyed the show all the way up until then, and I was like, no. And some of you will be like, that's not a big thing to do it for a show like this, which really didn't have a lot of great quantity or great content in terms of what they had. A lot of it was just like done. It didn't really explain or give real answers. It just basically had a flight being hijacked, people on ground trying to make sure this hijacked plane lands safely, everybody's good, no terrorist things happen, and the bad guys got away with it, except the people that were hijacked. The other two that shot Edgar, they got away with it. We don't know what's going to happen. I think they might be season 2. And then at the end, you see Sam leaving this heroic way. I thought the show was called Hijack, not Sam Nelson. Again, that's my problem. It might not be yours. So yeah, like I said, Hijack 7 out of 5. Hijack 7.5 out of 10 is a good watch. I watched it. It was entertaining. A 7-episode series, not long, 1 hour each, so 7 hours, just the flight path of. I think I really like the fact that they put it for the flight time, and it looks cool. But overall, I wouldn't say this is a must watch unless you really want to watch it. Idris Elba did good. He played himself. He talks too much. But yeah, I think it was a good show. I definitely would recommend if you have nothing to do. Apple TV has some good content. This is one of them. This is a good, like a B-level watch, something you just want to sit there and watch and be suspense. Something you want to just watch and just be like, forget anything. You don't need to focus on it. It's not too smart. It's not like you're putting puzzles together. It's you can never put the puzzle because you don't know what the puzzles are, to be honest. It's like, all you need to know is why it's being hijacked. Who are these people? Really doesn't go into depth or deep details of each hijackers and what brought them here. It just gives you like a brief overview. Oh, this person did this, that person did this. Yeah, what do you think? Have you watched Hijack? Are you watching anything on Apple TV? Let me know. I'm Suhe. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you've seen Hijack, let me know. Comment below. What are your thoughts about this show? Did you enjoy it? Do you think a season 2 should have Idris Elba? What is season 2 going to be about? Probably it's going to be about another hijack plane because, that's the show's name. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.